And hello, everybody. As we head into the late week, we are seeing some changes take place. For the second weekend in a row, an Alberta clipper will roll out of Alberta, Canada, and cause havoc in the northern plains. That storm strengthens. I'll show you who is impacted by that. And a significant storm is taking shape, rolling out of the Gulf of Mexico and riding up the Atlantic coast as we go through the next couple of days. That'll bring some heavy rain threat, and we'll take a close look at who will be most impacted by that nor'easter and our system right here. Let's get started right away with what's behind me. You're looking at an American model, and we're seeing a little bit of a pattern shift out on the west coast as well. When the third topic I'll be talking about today is going to be this little kink in the jet stream giving way, and instead of systems making landfall in the Pacific Northwest, where it has been a terribly active late fall and early winter, we're going to start seeing more storm systems impacting California. And that could, in fact, bring some unsettled weather to the northern plains, central plains, as we head toward the holiday travel season. Let's get started first and foremost with what's going on behind me. And to do that, I'm going to take a look at what's looking on the forecast model here. And we'll go ahead and pause this model so you can take a look with me as we start this model off right now. Let me go ahead and pop up the time here so we can look at see what times we're talking about here. Now we're talking about this evening. Showers and storms, and we do have winter weather advisories in parts of the deep south. We have a winter storm warnings, in fact, in parts of northern and eastern New Mexico, and there is a peek at some winter weather advisories in the panhandle of Texas. Now, cold air rolling out of the Rocky Mountains is going to, well, make its way into some more humid air. And as those two air masses interact here in the Central Plains, we're going to start to see some weather develop. Notice also the Gulf of Mexico has some unsettled weather here on the tail end of a very deep trough and cold front that is working its way out of Miami. Now check this out as I set this into motion from this Thursday night. Watch what's going to take place. The system moving out of the Rocky Mountains as we go into the midday hour on your Friday will bring showers of rain to the Central Plains. Up north, a Alberta clipper develops, and we'll start to see some mixed precipitation in the Dakotas with some rain showers and mild air out across much of, well, Minnesota, down into eastern South Dakota and Nebraska. But the heavier rain will be in the Central Plains and Southern Plains from Wichita into Oklahoma City. This is not necessarily expected to be an outbreak of severe weather in these areas. Now, again, this is the midday hour or so as we go through your Friday. Heading into the afternoon, the snow increases just as the storm exits North Dakota and South Dakota and heads into Minnesota. So the Duluth area, Lake Superior, could get some significant snow heading into the morning of Saturday. This is Central Time, 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Now, as we continue the trek along, this system here in the, well, coastal areas of western Florida, look what happens with this system as we set this into motion. Low pressure develops, strengthens. Most of Georgia will have a chance at some showers and thunderstorms with this system as it works its way through. The time frame on this is late in the evening. This will be on our Saturday the 16th, excuse me. So that means some of these storms could have a little bit more energy in them with the heating of the day, some thunderstorms and locally heavy rain across most of southern Georgia from Macon and Columbus all the way out to Savannah as we head through the afternoon and evening hours. All the while, storm system exiting most of Minnesota then heads into the northern reaches of the Great Lakes region. Okay, now let's get into Sunday as we head into the 17th. This system will work its way right up the Atlantic seaboard, blasting through much of the Carolinas and heading up into the Virginias. And what we're going to see here is the heavier rain really exit those areas fairly quickly. This system moves rapidly. Now you're looking at 6 o'clock on Sunday evening. So by the time we get to Sunday, things will be drying up across much of Georgia and exiting through much of South Carolina, North Carolina, all the way up through the nation's capital, Philadelphia, all of Pennsylvania, really having a great great chance of locally heavy rain. That heads all the way north. And by the time we get to your Sunday night at 6 o'clock, it will be in Vermont, New Hampshire, and southern reaches of Maine. Notice the cold air with this system all up here in Ontario as we head into the late weekend and begin the week before Christmas. Now, as this system exits, notice the snow on the backside of this system will impact parts of the central Great Lakes region from Toronto south through Ohio and the Ohio River Valley and into Charleston. Now, there will be some bands of potentially heavier snow with this as we look into western PA as well. So keep your eyes on this. There could be some changes because this is getting far out for the model. And the farther out we go in time, the lower the confidence is on the exact track of this system. What does look to be consistent between this and the other models I've looked at is the timing and overall track of this storm system. And both models, the European and the American, keep most of the snow on the Canadian side, on the cool side. The heaviest of the rain will be offshore. This is a look at Monday, the 19th, and Monday the 18th, Tuesday the 19th, as we see the cold air spilling in on the backside of the system. So that is a look at both the Alberta Clipper impacting the Dakotas and Minnesota, and the system rolling out of the Rockies now and heading into the Atlantic coast states. And that storm system will impact most of the folks from Florida all the way up into the New England states. Now we're going to focus then as we close out the work week next week and head toward the holiday season. Here's the big change that I'm talking about at the jet stream level. We're going to see a better chance of active weather hitting Northern California and Central California as we head in time into the week before Christmas. So this is a look at the 19th, and the 19th is of course Tuesday. And as we set this into motion, that West Coast system will work its way into the Rockies. As it does, check this out. Southern Rockies and Central Rockies will have a chance at seeing some active weather. This is all the way from Vegas through Arizona, where things have been very quiet so far this winter season, which is not typical of an El Nino system in winter. So that Pacific coast system off of coastal South America, called an El Nino, warms the waters off the coast of South America. And when that happens, warmer than average air develops in those areas, which lowers the pressure, which causes the jet stream to dive a little farther south as it makes landfall across the lower 48. And that means California typically sees wetter than average weather in an El Nino year. Well, we're starting to see that transition happen. Now, as we glide toward the weekend before the Christmas holiday, check out the forecast for this system working its way into the Rockies, strengthening, and then unsettled weather takes hold. This is the 23rd, mind you. This is Saturday before Christmas as we head into the holiday. So there could be some impactful weather. Here we go, pausing it on Christmas Eve in the morning, rolling out of the Central Rockies and into the Central Plains. Now, the exact path of this system certainly is up for grabs with regards to how accurate our models can be out this far. But one thing is pretty common on both the European model and the American model, and that is the fact that we're seeing a change in the jet stream and where it makes landfall in the western U.S., more towards California. So a more active pattern for California means a more active pattern likely in the Central Rockies and possibly the Southern Rockies. As storms move off the Rockies and into the Central Plains, the timing of this looks to be pretty close to those looking to travel just before and after the Christmas holiday. We'll keep you updated. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you. Broadcast meteorologist for 26 years, a research meteorologist before that. And I love bringing weather and talking about the weather and its impacts and talking about real chances and what meteorologists look at when it comes to models. When we're this far out, there is a lot that can change. So please keep that in mind. But the points are active weather as we go into our late week this week in the Northern Plains. Alberta Clipper strengthens over the north, particularly the Great Lakes region of Minnesota and Wisconsin. Then, at the same time, a low pressure system moves out into the Gulf of Mexico and a Noreaster forms. So snow that is now working its way out of places like New Mexico tonight and will be working its way into the panhandle of Texas will exit that area And basically, we're going to have very wet weather along the Atlantic seaboard and Gulf Coast states. And that begins as we head into your weekend. We'll keep you updated on meteorologist Hutch Johnson. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel, Hutch's Weather. Love to have you on board. We'll say hi to a couple folks here who watch it, asking with questions. I think the header is covering the timing up. Yeah, as a matter of fact, Cody, that's true. And I did that on purpose because one of the problems with the timing on these, no, I take that back. The timing on this does not have Greenwich Mean Time on this particular model that I showed. Some of them I do, and then you have to convert, and I like to keep it simple. So thank you for that tip, Cody. I'll try to clear that banner out of the way. I appreciate that. All right. I appreciate all of you for watching. Thanks for hitting the subscribe button, the like button. Leave your comments here as well. And have a very wonderful late week. We'll keep our eyes on the wintry weather heading into the north as we head into the weekend, and the stormy weather that will be impacting the Gulf Coast and Atlantic states as we glide through the weekend.